The Chase's War and Everything returns to ABC TV at 9 p.m. on Wednesdays from tonight, which is in 10 seconds. The Chase's War and Everything returns to ABC TV at 9 p.m. on Wednesdays from tonight, which is now.
Yeah. Well,
you're brilliant too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't say that about you yet. Yes.
You're brilliant. I think both you guys are just the cream of the crop and the best actors working right now.
Sure.
I agree.
Is it equal, or do you feel like one of us is like 50?
I think one of you guys, I think one of you is about 10% better than the other one, but I don't want to tell you which, because I want you to use it.
What's up? This is Kesha, and you're behind the scenes at my Maxim photo shoot. I have been in not very much clothes. You know, just trying to look hot. It's actually a bad tattoo. This can be seen here. I didn't make any money. And so I think there's a good pop song in anything. Backstabbing girl and being hungover. And you know what? I will dedicate my song Take It Off on my record Animal. Guys, had me do all day.
Hi, I'm Sean Ferris, and we are on the set of the Men's Health cover shoot. I try to get to the gym for at least an hour, 3 days a week, and then maybe do some cardio twice a week for an hour. It's pretty simple. Running rolling hills, long distance, outside. But more recently, I have discovered uphill adrenaline rush in my body when I'm done. I feel better throughout the week. You know, also you have to make sure that you get your rest. You let your body grow. The role I've ever had to prepare for and customizing my body is definitely Never Back Down. The equivalent of a igloo ice chest of food every day, and then showing up and getting up nation, and then we would take an hour break, eat a bunch of food, and then we would go to Gold's Gym 6 days a week. These resolutions are awesome, because you know it's going to take at least a quarter of the new year to get that goal, setting yourself up for a great year.
Imagine if you knew you only had a day to live, but there was a way that they have to, you know, you look at Matt Bomer, who plays 100, and that made me feel really old. Because you have so much to lose. They're afraid they're going to have their time stolen.
Sylvia wants to have some kind of adventure. Spend so much time trying to protect your life that you don't really end up living. And Sylvia just isn't made for this kind of life, so she's just, her wish comes true when Will, Justin's character, comes into the picture and kind of takes her away. And it's also very, it's really realistic in some ways.
It was to our friend Eli, and I was like, halfway in, he's like, your pitch sucks, your movie's never gonna get made, you gotta fix that. It was so cool to see them, Katie and him, going together, and this is how I suture an ear together. Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna do the same suturing technique. So we tried to keep it as realistic as possible.
And I did, and I was like, yes, no, I shouldn't have done that, that was bad. And so they did most of the research for me to sort of filter the more horrific elements of whatever they're talking about that day.
Confident with their body and their own sexuality to a level where there are two things that we fibbed a bit on. Everything else is medically accurate. There's a surgery with the identical twins. That procedure is only being done now with about teams of 40 people. It's just when...
Thrilled. I was just really hopeful that I wouldn't totally screw it up.
The most exciting thing for me, I think, approaching this, just from a directorial standpoint, is being in Paris. I mean, we have just a huge adventure, able to film places that no one's filmed in Paris. We were on the stage in the Paris Opera House, never been done. Being that they were Smurfs and they were small scale, and that the Gargamel was just allowed the story to take us places. And of course, our great producing team, Jordan Kerner. You know, what more can a director ask for? Open up the Paris Opera House and let me shoot? Okay, I'm in. She can take emotional, she can go 3 clicks this way, a little more crackle that way, and she's feeling it in her heart, but I could feel it in my heart. I could never act it, but she has such control over her performance that she can just fine-tune it down to a science, and it's really miraculous to watch.
There's an actor in this film who's doing some very exciting work, and his name is Jeremy Strong. There's an actor in this film, Mr. Strong. I'll tell you why I'm looking this way. I just realized why. So every now and then, because mostly I think you're just getting a harsh profile of the back of my head, but that's not.
But that's not what the movie's about. Reaction one more time. It's not about Bill. So if you want to look down the
neat story that I understand it.
The end result of that near catastrophe
was being disinvited to the family three-legged race in Gary, Indiana.
I'm just going to throw 16 questions at you. If C.P. Kennedy could time travel, where would he go and why?
1984 for the release of the Camaro Z28.
Well, Nancy Meyers is a great director, and so I love all of her movies. You know, you cuddle up in your bed and have a bag of popcorn, and I'm good. Well, first of all, he has great humility, some money in the bank, and wisdom. Thank God. So that wisdom, almost like a father figure, Robert De Niro has anyway. He's kind. I mean, look, for me, number one is you got to be kind, and you have to be humble. Number one. I mean, number two, you got to have a sense of humor. So basically, I think Fiona is attracted to that in Ben.
The 67 animated Disney version of the film. And then, you know, when I grew up and I was a child, there was no video, there was no DVD. So all the memories I have of the film were from when I first saw them as a child. When you revisit material, certainly with Iron Man, and to some extent with Elf, even, as I drew back on the stop-motion Christmas specials of my youth. In many ways, that's more important than watching the film again. It's like a chef has to have good ingredient. Of his line of work, Somebody Doesn't Belong, I think that's, you know, to me, when I see that dynamic, when I see that myth, it's very universal.
I, you know, wanted to take something, first 2-3 steps have been proven in the next one. Do you believe it, what I'm suggesting? It's almost like a question kind of saying that you get stressed and your blood pressure goes up. Do you believe I give you a pill and it's full of sugar? Now I'm gonna ask one more question. Thought one of its personalities was supernatural. Okay, super smart 10-year-old. So whenever we played, I was like, you're playing a dumb adult. That was a dumb adult. The things that were sacred to me weren't touched. It was pliable right to the last second, and we give the best version.
Constantly worry when there's nothing in something so big. Out of someone so small. Why that we're intertwined? We can't rewind. Feeling you for a minute. Give up if I can't make you mad. You need your attention, but that's just a given. Someone who's waiting for someone who's playing. We can't rewind. 'Cause tonight